Hi, I'm Rick Anthony, and welcome to the Someone You Should Know podcast, the podcast that focuses on musicians, authors, and interesting people. We like to say we're making a difference one artist at a time. So sit back, have a cold one, and get ready to meet someone you should know. We always try to find fun, engaging guests for our podcast. Now, sometimes it's a musical guest, and sometimes it's an author, or just an interesting person. This one is kind of a melding of all three. My guest is an entrepreneur who created Smile Songs. What is Smile Songs? Well, we're going to find out as I introduce to you singer-songwriter Sharon Glassman. How are you, darling?
Very well, Rick. How are you doing today?
I'm just thrilled to have you on the show today because the Smile Song concept is great. I got to ask you, your musical background before Smile Songs were born.
My musical background really started in the back of the orchestra in fourth grade playing second violin.
Okay.
And I was a violinist all the way up into the 2000s on and off. And then I heard something on the radio, which turned out to be Vassar Clements playing in the nitty gritty dirt band. I mean, the Circle Be Unbroken album number 2. Song. And I thought, isn't that great? Oh, yeah. And I thought there are other things that can be done with this instrument, and ended up moving to Colorado and becoming a singer, songwriter, performer.
Awesome. Very good. Can you share the story behind the moment that fans kind of gave you the inspiration to create Smile Songs? How did that all come to be?
Absolutely. I was playing music at a little winery in the mountains in Estes Park, since you're a Coloradan by nature. And a new fan came up and they said, if only there was a way we could take you home and put you on the wall so that we could hear the happiness in your music and see the happiness that you create every day. If this was a movie, this would be the moment where the montage happens and you see all the things I'd done in my previous careers as a creative services person, as an illustrator, as a traveling performer. And I said, I can do this. And even more importantly, I feel I should do this because delivering happiness is really what I'm all about.
That's what I'm doing here. I'm delivering happiness to our guests. It's just purely, I don't get paid for doing this. I do it purely out of love of helping others. And I love your energy. I love what you're doing for this thing here. You got to tell me how you transitioned before becoming a greeting card designer.
I was, again, I've always had, I call it a three-faceted career. I'm always doing about three things at the same time. So I am a voiceover artist. I was one of the voices of Lifetime Television back in New York. So I was doing voiceover work. Get
out of here, yeah. Really? Son of a gun. What we might know you from?
I think Lifetime would be one of the biggest ones. And back in the 90s, 80s, I did MTV Video Music Awards, with my lower voice, Video Music Awards brought to you by so all these
beautiful.
Yeah, a lot of people.
I see your Electro Voice microphone. That's one of my all-time favorites right there. I've had that in studios for 44 years. I know you're serious about what you're doing. So that's
yes.
Because that's not a cheap microphone.
No. And honestly, I got it from my husband, who is an acoustic engineer. So it was one of his gifts to me. So I was like, yes.
Awesome.
But it is great. And things have moved. We're digressing a little bit. Things have moved, though, in the voiceover world to being more home recording. And so you really do want a mic like this because you're not always going into the studio. But yeah, so I was and am a voiceover artist. I was also doing illustrations. I had started a podcast, which was more of an audio fiction podcast, and was painting thank you notes for my cast. And it's something I had done throughout my career and my life, more as a love gift for people. And people were always saying, you need to do this for real. This is not a joke. Like, these illustrations and paintings you're doing are just so incredible. And I'd say, no, I'm a voice person. I'm a word person. I'm a musician, but I'm not an illustrator. And of course I was. So there was that going on in the background. And a third thing that I probably can't remember right now, but really what happened when Smile Songs happened was the permission to put all these things together in a way that I thought could really make folks happy.
And it's really, really a cool concept. You got to explain how the Smile Song card works.
Absolutely. So I know that our listeners can't see the card, but if you go to smilesongs.com, you can. But I'm going to show you, Rick. So here's an example of a card. This is a thank you card, and there's a happy bee there and a hummingbird with hearts and flowers on a blue sky. And the bee is saying, thank you for believing in me. And you'll see in the grass there's a green QR code. I always work very hard to make sure that the QR is an integrated part of the art.
Okay.
And when you scan it, well, hold on. Let me grab my phone.
All right, she's going to grab her phone. The suspense is building here as we're doing this now.
So I'm going to scan the QR code.
Okay.
Sorry, I just bumped the mic in my excitement.
Thank you for believing in me and all I'm here to do. Thanks Thanks for your camaraderie as I make big dreams come true. Every hour, every day, living life the can-do way. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you.
That is amazing. I love the concept. Brilliant, brilliant idea. I got to ask, where are these available at?
They're available at smilesongs.com and at, as they say on the old commercials, select stores nationwide. And
order now. Order now. Receive a free gift.
Exactly. And a Ginsu knife will come with your purchase if you order before midnight. But I would say, since you have folks in so many different cities and you're in a different city, if there is a cute little store, a general store, a card store that you think would love these, please reach out to me and let me know. Please connect us, because that's really how things work. I was just at a music festival yesterday at Chautauqua here in Boulder, and I was one of the vendors. And as I was setting up, the manager of the general store ran over and looked at these and said, I have to have these. I need these in my store. And that's really how things work, in that organic way. So any ideas that folks have, I would deeply welcome.
What's the going price on a card?
These are $5.50.
Are you kidding me? Hallmark's charging $20 nowadays. Good Lord.
I know. But this is the standard price. This is called an A2 greeting card. It's one of the smaller ones. They're in boutiques. And, the interesting thing, one of the differences between being a purely performing artist and an entrepreneur is that we have to consider things like, what is the standard cost for this item in the market?
Right, yes.
I've just created something that's brand new that is doing something a little different, because of course we're creatives. But yeah, so this is $5.50, and you can get them on the website, and they're blank on the inside, so you could write a message. And what I also love is that by having the song and a little message on the front, it takes out some of that stress that can come from, gosh, what do I write in the inside of my card?
Right, exactly. Yeah. I love the concept. And what we're going to do is we're going to include links in the show notes, because I think everybody is $5.50 for $5.50. That is incredible for a card. I mean, and you get a great song and everything. It's just, I think it's stupid for you not to do this. So it's going to be in the show notes. And as a matter of fact, we're going to feature a song that was one of the Smile songs that is in your collection here. This one's nicely produced and everything, and it's called May Your Bold Dreams Bloom. Can you explain the backstory of that and how that all came to be, Sharon?
Yes. So one of the things that I quickly realized when doing Smile songs is, as a songwriter, you can write a song that comes, let's say, from your heart, that means something to you. When I'm doing Smile songs, I am doing songs that I want to speak to my audience, that say things that my audience may be hungry to hear, want to tell somebody else. And I had this thought of, like, if you could take Bob Dylan's Forever Young and kind of cross it with, I'm trying to remember what the other song I was thinking about at the time, but to send that love to people, what would that sound like? And that's where the idea of May Your Bold Dreams Bloom came from. And there's a flower on the card that's growing tall with the letters forming the stem. And then this is the song that plays when you scan the QR code on the art.
I love it. I love it. Let's play it right now. May Your Bold Dreams Bloom. This is Sharon Glassman and Smile Songs.
May you find your calling in this pretty little world. Paint your true colors in diamond dust and pearls. May your goodly graces light up every room. May your bold dreams bloom. May your bold dreams bloom. Find compassion for every living thing. Believe the rhythm that makes you dance and sing. May you live each moment knowing we'll be leaving soon. May your bold dreams bloom. May your bold dreams bloom. Like a flower every hour, turning toward the sun like a minute every minute, knowing you're the only one who can do the wondrous things you really want to do to make your bold dreams bloom for you. May you find a new dream at the end of every day. Love how all the seasons come and with time pass away. May you see that smile as you're looking at the moon. May your bold dreams bloom. May your bold dreams bloom. May your bold dreams bloom.
That's May Your Bold Dreams Bloom. Sharon Glassman is our guest this time on the Someone You Should Know podcast. She's the creator of Smile Songs. More great music from her coming up in just a couple of minutes. But I want to say thanks so much for tuning in to the Someone You Should Know podcast. You know, we've got over 190 episodes right now. We want you to go ahead and check out our archive. You can find it at someoneyoushouldknowpodcast.com. Once again, you're to find our recent news, our archive of past episodes, and a whole lot more. Also, we want to say thank you so much to Buzzsprout, the service that shares all the streaming platforms. Right now, heard in over 2,300 cities in 93 countries around the world. I want to salute a couple of those: Springfield, Oregon, Richmond, Kentucky, Knaresville, Manitoba, and Glasgow, Scotland. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Someone You Should Know podcast, heard wherever quality streaming audio is available. We're speaking with Sharon Glassman. We say thanks for listening. She's the creator of Smile Songs. How did you approach the concept of the digital age and everything? I mean, you and I grew up back when we had the old analog reel-to-reels and everything like that. This digital age of both designing and doing your music. Any challenges that you faced along the way?
A lot of learning. I like a good challenge. I don't know if you feel the same way, but when I am approaching a new project, it's like a puzzle. Like, how do I put all these pieces together? And what I'm very grateful for is that I don't know how Smile Songs would have been possible before the digital age.
Right.
How could I have embedded a song into a greeting card, a sticker, art prints, magnets, all these things I'm doing? And I did have the challenge because when I would do illustrations, I was doing them right on paper. How do I learn graphic design? And the answer is kind of trial and error, and I did it. And the same thing with music production. I mean, I was used to being the person who was being produced. And then I realized I have 150 cards. That's 150 different songs, 50 stickers, 50 more songs, up to 200 songs. If I'm going to produce, and they're short, and I call them joyful jingles for real life, but if I was going to produce on my own schedule in quantity when I needed it, I was going to have to learn how to be a producer too. And again, that was a lot of bit of trial and error and learning everything from, I really just use GarageBand, to be quite honest, to produce, because it's just, sometimes when things are simple, that's not bad.
Right.
How did I want to master my sound for my graphics? I use a program called Affinity Designer. And again, learning things that I won't bore you with, but were all really necessary. And the amazing thing is they're accessible in the digital world.
One thing I also like is the fact that we're getting a little older here, and you got to keep that brain going there. So learning new technology. I bought a brand new Apple computer for Christmas, and I've been a PC guy all my life, and there's just certain things Apple does better on their machines, and I learned the whole thing like over Christmas break on the programs that I was using. So I got to be kind of a trained killer during that time frame. At least I like to say that. You kind of mentioned this earlier, but I'd like to kind of readdress it, because some of the most rewarding feedback you received from customers about Smile Songs.
Wow. Some of it's on my Instagram. I actually did a reel of people at a market. Because if I say this to you now, I even feel like I kind of, get a little like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but people will say, this is the most brilliant thing I've ever seen. This is genius. There's a lot of you should be on Shark Tank, which thank you, but I'm going to pass, but I appreciate the offer of my audience. People will scan the card or the sticker if I'm at a live event, and then scream to the people around them. Like, the people might be down the aisle. I won't scream into my mic, but they'll be like, you have to come over here. This is a singing sticker. And people say, singing sticker? I know. Wait, you have to. So there's just this jubilation and joy that makes me so happy. And this is the best thing. I have to give this to insert the name of, person. It's just so deeply rewarding to be able to bring what I know how to do and love to do together in a way that really helps people feel happy and then share joy.
I think it's just a brilliant concept also. I mean, look at this idea. Moms and dads, grandmas and grandpas, if you're listening right now, think of all the number of greeting cards you have to buy during a year. You've got a graduation, you've got several birthdays, you've got several anniversaries. You can go ahead and buy in bulk at $5.50 a pop. You're thinking, well, I don't want to spend $5.50 every single time. all you have to do is buy in gross. I'm sure you could probably work out some kind of package deal with Sharon or whatever like that. Buy like a dozen of them, and you'll have a dozen different things to use for the entire year. And it doesn't cost as much as you're going to pay at the big box stores and such. So Hallmark's making a killing. So there you go.
And I wanted to show you that again. I know you all can't see, but I'm showing Rick. So this is a singing sticker on a water bottle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So all the singing stickers, you put them wherever you want, on your laptop, on your water bottle. They go through the dishwasher just fine. And again, you can scan them and have an entertainment. So if it's little kids on a sippy cup, it can be also on your laptop. It could be somewhere where you want to feel happy. I'm showing you the Reach Your Peak sticker. So if you're feeling like, I'd like a little encouragement today. It's a tough day. And this is going to sing like, oh, a mountain rises early in the morning, standing tall in sunshine, snow, and rain. Oh, a mountain rises early in the morning, and its altitude ain't all you got to gain. Reach your peak. And a little fiddle comes in. So it's that combination of happiness, fun, usefulness. And the stickers are $4 each. And you're getting a song and a sticker.
Goodness, what a bargain. What a bargain. And it's smilesongs.com, correct?
It is.
Smilesongs.com. I'll be mentioning that several times in the podcast. Plus, it'll be in the show notes because I don't want you to miss out on an opportunity. There's a great opportunity for you to save and a great opportunity for you to take care of one of those, things. Oh, I got to go to the store and buy such a card. Oh, you got it for all different things, for all different genres. You're left for babies and stuff like that too, right?
Babies, birthdays, weddings. I actually have a marriage proposal card if you're in that situation where you want to pop the question, but you need a little help. And it says, you get to fill in the person's name, and it says, will you marry me? And then it sings. There are cards to say, I'm sorry. I have a little card that says, please bear with me. And then it sings, please bear with me. I'm a work in progress just like you. So there's really a range.
Wow, that's amazing. And all these songs have come from that brain of yours. That's wonderful. We're going to feature a song that actually isn't a smile song, but this is one of your other songs, right? This is called Get in Line, basically a song about the grass is always greener, from a different perspective and such. What's the backstory on the song?
I think of myself as an applied songwriter. When I'm writing a song, it's usually for a reason. And when I was living in New York, I wrote a novel called Blame It on Hoboken, in which I imagined, right?
Yeah.
I imagined a club of Frank Sinatra impersonators and a love story that happened there that takes a little bit off the myth of Cupid and Psyche. And when I moved to Boulder and became a real songwriter, I wrote a soundtrack album and turned it into an audio fiction podcast. And it aired around the country on public radio stations and different things. And Get in Line is one of the songs that plays in the context of this story. I think it might be encouraging to some of your listeners who, like me, are songwriters who put things up on digital platforms. I put the album up on Bandcamp, I want to say in 2014. And last month, I sold this track. I got 87 cents.
Which is far more than Spotify. That's a couple hundred plays on Spotify.
Don't you think? A couple billion? But what I love about this song is there's a crotchety taxi driver. Imagine a crotchety New York taxi driver is one of the characters in this audio fiction. And it's kind of his theme song that he manages to look at the world from, the grass is always greener. In his case, the grass is probably in need of water and is looking scraggly because he's such a pessimist. But it's an optimistic song by inference, because we really have some cranky people all saying like, oh, you think you've got problems? Get in line. A snail is looking at a robin saying, I'd rather be you. And the robin says, oh, you think you've got problems? Get in line. And it goes all the way down up the food chain.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to feature that right now. Get in Line from Sharon Glassman right here on the Someone You Should Know podcast.
Crossing the highway, robin flying by. Snail looks at the robin with one slow-moving eye, and Snail says, if I had two wings like you, I'd be doing fine. Oh, you think you got troubles? Robin tells the snail, oh, get in line. You think it's easy peasy, floating through the air, oh, with the whole world watching up your underwear. Oh, but if I were a rainbow, I'd be doing fine. Oh, you think you got troubles, Rainbow tells the robin, we'll get in line. Do you know how many photographs they take of me each day? Each time they snap my arches, they strip some soul away. But if I were a mountain, I'd be doing fine. Oh, you think you got troubles, mountain tells the rainbow, oh, get in line. Oh, get in line. Yeah, get in line. We're hauling rocks, they're drinking wine. Oh, look around, it's by design. We're working hard, they're doing fine. It is to be the one it snows and damps on. I think it's fun to be the one with 100 million crampons. But if I were a cloud, I'd be doing fine. Oh, you think you got troubles, cloud tells the mountain, we'll get in line. You think that I'm all fluffy, but up here life's a pain. When I'm not all in vapor, I got a bladder full of rain. Oh, but if I were a snail, I'd be doing fine. You know, you guys are right, Snail tells them all. Compared to you, I'm doing fine. So get in line. Yeah, get in line. You're hauling rocks, I'm drinking wine. Oh, look around, it's by design. You're working hard, I'm doing fine. Here comes a truck, I'm doing.
Another great song, that's Get in Line from Sharon Glassman. She's our guest this day on the Someone You Should Know podcast, and she is the creator of Smile Songs. Sharon, one feature we love to do, especially with musicians, and you being one, is called Tales from the Road. These are those infamous road stories where things didn't go quite as planned. Now, I know you've performed out. Can you tell us any particular moment that turned into one of those Spinal Tap moments?
Oh, Rick. Oh, Rick. I say it again. Oh, Rick. So I was making that transition from being a classical music violinist to playing in Americana bands. And I answered a Craigslist ad in Brooklyn and met these wonderful women. And we hit it off immediately. And we were rehearsing in a place that was called, I had some downstairs allusion to it. Basically, it was like a basement room with a lot of cobwebs. And, you know, that was all there was. And we started playing together, and it was that magic moment. You were like, this is incredible. And I said, well, I've never played violin in any other context. You sound incredible. This is amazing. We are going to actually make this band. We're going to go on tour. So we're going to play our first show at a bar in Williamsburg. And I'm like, this is the most, I can't believe how easy this is. Well, I didn't really understand that there was a difference between my acoustic violin that I played in the orchestra and this plug-inable rehearsal silent violin that I bought so I could play music in my apartment with headphones. And so I take it to the gig and we plug it in, and I didn't know what monitors were. So I didn't have a monitor. And I plug in this electronic violin to the sound system in this bar, and not realizing that my entire instrument on the way over had gone out of tune.
Oh my.
And so thank you. You have the hand over your face. You're dying for me. I feel it. Thank you. And so I am rocking out because I back in the basement, a rehearsal room, the women would say to me, you got to play out. Don't be shy. We're here to tell you you are amazing. And so I took my newfound confidence and I stood there in my whatever outfit I thought I was going to go on tour, and I ripped into each song. And I saw this expression on all the people in the audience that looked a lot like horror.
Yeah.
And by the first break, like literally I went out into the crowd and no one talked to me. Everyone they turned their back to me. And I had no idea why, because I still thought I was the best thing since sliced bread.
You're looking like this. You're looking down, and what? Am I wearing something wrong? What's going on here?
Exactly. Toilet paper on my shoe. But actually, no, I was still so high on the adrenaline of having had my first gig with the reassurance that I was doing everything right. And it was only afterwards that they said, thank you and goodbye.
Oh, my. Wow.
And we're still friends. I actually talked to the leader of what would have been the band, and she said, I'm sorry for the way we behaved, but we just didn't know what to do. Like, there's nothing worse than a shrieking electric violin that's out of tune and over the beautiful harmonies. Anyway, so that is my story from the road. That's why I didn't go on the road, but I led me to Smile Songs. I really have ultimately no complaints, a little embarrassment. But again, I wasn't there to hear how bad it was. I was only there to enjoy the joy of having my first rockin' out fiddle show.
Very good. I always think of the parents going to their child's recitals and hearing all the other bad instruments being played, and they're just cringing and trying to make it through the next 90 minutes or so without saying, please stop it now. Stop it.
Make it stop. Please make it stop. Yeah, and there's just those frequencies. Violin is one of those instruments that when it's off, it just goes through your brain like,
Absolutely. Now, we've talked about your website, which is smilesongs.com. How about socials?
My social Instagram is smile_songs. And I'm also on Facebook. And Instagram is really where I am. I'm also a little bit on LinkedIn for the business side of things. So if you're a LinkedIn person, and you can also contact me through the website, through smilesongs.com. We can connect that way.
Awesome. Very good. What we'll do is we'll include those all in the show notes so no one misses out on an opportunity. There's a lot of people driving around right now going, what was that? What was that? What was that? No, get to your destination safe, then look in the show notes, okay? Anything we should know about Smile Songs, your music, or you that we haven't talked about already?
I would just say that I design with your happiness in mind, so that when you see and hear a Smile Songs greeting card, a sticker, a pin, that there's a lot of happiness that's packed into that little space. And if there's a message that you want to hear, or like something that I haven't covered, I'm always open to hearing from folks. Some of the ideas I get, I have a whole series of singing Zodiac stickers that came about by request. Mm-hmm. And they're making folks super happy. So this is really a conversation. The products are communicating with you. I'm here for you. I'd love to hear from you.
Awesome. And once again, $5.50 a card. Can you beat that? You cannot. I dare you to go out there and beat that, unless it's the budget bin at Dollar General. Okay, it's gonna be something very, very special that is made with a lot of love and designed with a lot of love. And something you could share that is going to present a lot of love to the individual that is going to receive one of those Smile Song cards. The final song we're going to feature is Uh-huh. What is the backstory on Uh-huh, Sharon?
So Uh-huh is also a track from Blame It on Hoboken. And the reason I've included it is I feel like it was the precursor to the Smile Songs sound and vibe. You'll hear a lot more instruments on this track. But it really is a song. It's a family reunion song. It's a song about joy and that feeling that when people get together, which is really what Smile Songs is all about. And I also just kind of wanted to show it off because there's a lot of really great musicians on there that I thought your audience might enjoy hearing.
Awesome. Very good. We're going to feature that to close the show. Sharon, it's been an absolute delight to have you on. I really and truly had a good time, and I hope my listeners did too. And I hope you get a whole lot of orders from maybe we should say, say you heard it on Someone You Should Know podcast or something like that.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do a little discount if you want to do do Yeah. I'll make a promo code. Rick, R-I-K.
All right, very good. And yeah, that's the way you spell it, R-I-K. I came from a family that couldn't afford all the letters. So, so Sharon, it's been an absolute delight talking with you, and I invite everybody to go ahead and check out smilesongs.com. Order your cards today, and you could thank the individual that we had on the show today, Sharon Glassman, for coming up with that idea. Brilliant idea, Sharon.
Rick, thank you. Thanks for chatting with me, and thanks to everyone for listening.
Six-toed sock and a half-knit sweater, but I've got something that'll fit you better. Done 3 dozen donuts in a barrel of beer, but I've got something that'll keep you here. Made to order, family size, got your nose and both your eyes. When it starts talking, makes me a laugh when we go walking. I could paint you a picture, but I'm bad with a brush. Script you a scripture, I'm a saint in a rush. Build you a boxcar by your seat on a train. Make your postcards from Paris, your letters from Spain. Made to order, family size, got your nose and both your eyes. Sounds like you when it starts talking, makes me a laugh when we go walking. Write you a sonnet, hang your sheets on the line, be in your bonnet, sun in your shine. Slide on your sidewalk, hop in your scotch, jitter your bug, double your dutch. But a present isn't present till you give it away. Tomorrow's on borrow, how about today? Made to order, family size, got your nose and both your eyes. Sounds like you when it starts talking, oh, makes me a laugh when we go walking.
Hi, this is Rick Anthony, thanking you again for listening to this episode of Someone You Should Know. Now, if you're an aspiring musician or an established musician that's looking for a little exposure, I invite you to drop us a line at Someoneyoushouldknowpodcast@gmail.com. That's Someoneyoushouldknowpodcast@gmail.com. Also, I invite you to tell a friend about the Someone You Should Know podcast. I thank you for tuning in this time, and I invite you to check us out next time on the Someone You Should Know podcast, because you never know who's going to show up. Until next time, remember, God loves you, and so do I.